Everybody, this is Richard Shelton. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you watching the podcast so much. Again, watching everything I do is 100% unscripted, 100% unedited. I want to make sure I bring you raw content with raw knowledge to make sure that you get the best experience possible. Thank you so much again. Today we're going to talk about budgets and the projects. Right now I have 6 contracts out there. We have 3 which are completed. Which means we're starting work on the projects now ASAP. So I got a couple underway. One we're about to start. And we got a lot of work going on out there, and I want to make sure that you guys understand that when you're working your numbers, it's super duper important to keep your figures in line. When you're talking to the bank, you need to know, if you're or even if you're going to pay cash, you need to make sure that you're paying the right price up front. How do you do that? First step is you're going to make sure you have the ARV in line. ARV is after repaired value. That's how much you should be able to sell the property for once it's repaired, and retail ready. So if we're looking at a home, the homes in the area sell for $130,000, then we want to make sure that we are at that number or less till we can sell our home for too. Typically it's going to be done by price per square foot. So if 1,000 square foot is running $130 a square foot, it'd be $130,000 ARV. And we want to keep that in line when we're sitting there buying our home. So if we're buying the home and the home is worth $130,000, we want to keep our math in line from there. Typically, a lender's going to want to be at 65 to 75 to 70% of ARV. So we want to make sure that we're below that. Then you need to factor in the cost of the repairs. So when you go into a home, and let's say you have $25,000 in repairs, then you're looking at the ARV again is $130,000. 70% of $130,000 is $91,000. Let's say we got 21,000 repairs to make it super simple. That would make it 70 grand. So if we're 70 grand or less, then we're doing awesome. So we want to make sure that we're able to do that. Quick math, the easiest way to do it is let's say the price of the home is $130,000. Then we want to be at half of that number. So half of $135,000 is going to be what now? All right, it's $65,000. So we want to be at $65,000, then we want to keep our repair costs at 20%. So let's say that the repair, or under, 20% of the repair cost on $130,000 would be $26,000. Add those two together. As long as we're underneath that amount on both numbers, we're doing great. Doesn't always mean it's going to work out that way. Sometimes you're going to run into overages, so you need to make sure you have an allowance for those kind of things. Little things that sneak up on you, just an FYI. But when you're doing an older home, you're going to do, maybe the plumbing looks good, but you have to upgrade the foundation. You're sitting there doing the foundation, you run into an issue with the foundation, and when you fix it, okay, great, you budgeted that, maybe it was 7 grand, 8 grand, 10 grand, 12 grand, whatever it was, but you sit there and you spend that money, awesome. Sometimes things happen, so when you end up doing, you run into a plumbing issue. A pipe leaks, something happens there, now you got to do a reroute because the pipes are old, you find out that they're cast iron. These things you need to make sure you're looking for up front. So we want to make sure that we get those things addressed, make sure that you know what you're walking into. Do another reroute, try another 5, 6, 7 grand, could be more. You want to make sure that that was in your budget. I mean, that eats up, in this particular scenario, almost our entire budget just on those 2 items. Not counting paint, not counting walls, not counting texture, not counting flooring, not counting any roof issues, not counting anything else. So I want to make sure when you guys go out there that, yes, is it hard? Not really, as long as you know how to do the numbers, but the key thing is understanding how the math works. So I want to make sure that you do those things. It's taking things going with the mindset. You want the mindset that you're going in there to find the best opportunity for yourself and your family and for the deal, for the lender, and then so that you can create the best product for the end buyer at the best value for you. So you want to make sure that we're able to buy the home cheap enough, do the work, get everything done, make sure that we're in line with the numbers, so that when we go to retail, we still are able to receive a profit, for our work and our time, because we are worth something. We want to make sure that you get paid because you absolutely deserve to get paid, and then we want to make sure that you're able to make the money that you deserve to make. But it still has to be in line for the end buyer to make sure that they're happy with the product and they have a great product, because they're going to live in this home 10, 20, 30. They may pass this, that may be a generational home for them. So we want to make sure that we're delivering an awesome product to them. So some of the things we want to keep out, just keep in mind, make sure that you put your numbers together, that your numbers make sense. When you're out there doing these rehabs, you want to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible, but understand that that's just not realistic, that you're going to have contingencies. We want to get out there and we want to make sure these things are fixed, that they're repaired, that they're ready to go, that you are able to deliver an outstanding product. So again, I want you to make sure that you understand how the math works. So to recap, we want to be at 70% of the ARV minus repair cost. Now for your wholesalers out there, understand that you guys obviously want to make the money too. When I got into real estate, I came from automotive. I came out here and that's exactly what I did. I had to wholesale the product because I wanted to understand exactly what it takes to buy the properties, acquire the properties, and get those properties out there. So the best thing for me was to start off and say, okay, how does this math work? Because I'm a numbers person. That's what I do. Managed automotive dealerships for 20 years. So I understood how to make math work, and I wanted to make sure I applied that correctly. So for your wholesalers going back out there, we want to make sure we look at those things. So if you know this house is worth $130,000, and you know it's 70% of this, and you have a good idea what the rehab budget's going to be, you need to make sure that whatever you want to make is below that amount. Simple math, buy it at half, cut back from there. But there may be things you haven't foreseen that your end buyer is going to run into problems when you put it on the market. So you want to make sure that when you list it and you try to sell it, and you're going to your buyers and saying, hey, I have an awesome flip for you, and they come back and they say, I don't want to buy, it's not a deal. You're stuck, man. You committed to this contract, you committed to this end buyer or to the seller, said, now I'm going to buy this home. Now you have to either find a way to weasel out, which you don't want to do. That's embarrassing. It's not the right thing. It's unethical. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing 100%. And the way you do that is make sure your offers are legit up front. If you know how the numbers work, you can save yourself a lot of headache, a lot of grief, a lot of stress. And that is super duper important. If you have your numbers correct and your numbers are on point, your job is significantly easier, and that's really what we want to do. So we want to make sure that we're in line with what the lenders are going to lend. If you're going hard money, if you're going private money, whatever route you're going to go. If you're writing your own check, hey, if you want to overpay, that's you, but that's what you're gonna run that risk and run that loss and run out of money really quick. But if you keep those numbers in line, you should be able to make a good living, be able to have good money. Going back to your wholesalers, it's a great opportunity. You get in, you find a house that has 130,000. You know that it's worth 65 on the, at keeping those numbers in line. You roll it back from there. Let's say you're able to buy it for 45,000. Awesome. Well, now you get that spread, whatever it is that you can pick up in the middle. You have a little bit of wiggle room, a little negotiation room, a little contingency room with, that they're going to want to have to make sure that all the numbers are in line for them. And if all the numbers are in line for you, if all the numbers are in line for the flip, if all the numbers are in line for the end buyer, well, you got to deal all the way around. The lender's not going to be hard to get the money. So I don't ever want you guys to think that it's hard to come across the money that you need to do your deals. What you need to do is make sure you have a deal, and if your deal is sufficient, if your deal is on point, and the deal matches the math, then you're going to have a sale. You're going to put the deal together. You're going to get paid. So whether you're in the beginning phases of this and we're going on the wholesaling route, and you just want to find the deal to generate some cash so that you can go into buying them. Now let's say we're going to move into the next step. We're going to buy it. We're going to flip it. So we're going to go to the lender, get the cash, or go through our private money, get the cash, put this deal together, and start producing this deal. Keep the flow going. We're going to get these products fixed. We're going to get them repaired. We're going to do it the right way with the right materials and the right labor costs. We'll talk about those in future videos. How to manage those things, what to look out for, what you can be a little lenient on, and what you just can't tolerate. How to pay. How to make sure that you keep compensation in line. That's how much you're paying out. How to buy materials at the right price. How to build relationships so you can find the best connections. We're going to talk about those in future videos continually. So again, I'm asking you, if you made it this far, do me a favor, hit subscribe, hit the like button, add a comment, tell me what's right, tell me what's wrong, whether you love it, hate it, doesn't matter, just let me know. If you're really kind, go ahead and share the video. That would be awesome. Let's get back on point though. Once we get these deals and we're going to buy them, we're going to start going to the flips. You're going to generate some cash. What are you going to do with all this money? Well, we're going to take that money, then we're going to start investing in some long-term rentals. That's where you start getting the cash flow. We spend a lot of time going out to the Grant Cardone Growth Con. Amazing content. Probably create another video on that, but I'm sure if you get on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere, you have 100% content of probably the whole entire deal. I was blessed enough to be with a new friend of mine, Corey Thompson, with Roughneck to Real Estate. I was invited to go with them, which was an awesome opportunity. Super grateful for that. Corey, if you're watching, thank you so much. I was grateful to be there. Learned a lot of amazing things while I was there. Great guy. If you see his YouTube video, look up Roughneck to Real Estate, R2R. He's an awesome. He's got awesome content on YouTube, Facebook. Make sure you can get you some great information. Going on from there, we want to make sure that you have your buy and holds. We want to get those that inventory coming in. You want to have that cash flow rolling, and we want to make sure that we have exactly what we need to do to hold the properties for the longest time possible so they can generate positive cash flow. And the easiest way to do this, if you know how to do your numbers in the beginning, then you're going to know how to buy them. If you know how to fix them, then you're going to know how to repair them and what that repair cost is going to be. And if you know how to fix them, repair them, buy them, then when it comes time to sell them, you're obviously going to know that in too. But if all the numbers make sense at stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, then they're going to make sense when you go to buy and hold these properties for the long term. And with forced depreciation, different depreciation, tax advantages, and strategies, you're going to find this is the absolute best way to do business. So for a lot of the new people coming into this game, you're going to find out you're going to wholesale a few, flip a few, wholesale some more, flip some more, wholesale some more, flip another one, wholesale some more, buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold, flip, wholesale, flip, wholesale, buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold. Then you go to the BRRRR method where you're going to cash out, refinance, take that money as debt so it's not taxed, go into some other deals. We're going to talk about all kinds of different strategies. And that's really what this is about. I'm going to share everything that I'm learning as I'm learning. I'm not a guru, like I said 100 times. This isn't my everyday, but I've made this my everyday job to make sure that I'm delivering straight content to you. That as I'm learning what I learned during the entire process. I'm 40 years old. I started in the automobile business at 18 years old. Did pretty darn well, but ultimately chose that real estate was the right path for me because it could deliver better results for my family, better results for my finances, and give me the long-term growth so I can make sure stability was in place for the entire time. I'm really grateful for your time that you took to watch this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please post them below. Via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Let me know what you need. Share and like the video if it helps you. And then I look forward, if you'll subscribe, to providing future content to make sure we can answer all your questions. I don't want to eat up 12 minutes of your time. Thank you so much. It's been a blessed knowing you.